Hey, Coach, you get the 3 hits to open the game. Now we're able to string them together later on. What was different, if anything, about the beginning, the way you guys came out with the remaining innings, I guess?
I just loved our energy. I mean, I thought our warm-up was good today. I mean, our focus was great. Our goal today was just to leave everything we had on the field. And I thought we came out with a lot of fire and intensity. We kind of had them on their heels a little bit, I mean, that's just an opportunity that if we could have strung a couple more hits together and got something going, it would have been a pretty significant momentum opportunity.
Did you feel like the last night's game took its toll at all today? Was any factor there?
I think it's been a real challenge. I would be lying if I didn't say that. I mean, I'd like to say it's been a bit of a gauntlet that we had these last few weekends of, we were playing so well with a lot of confidence, and then we kind of just hit a little bit of a wall, and even in those series, it's not like we played terrible. We just couldn't get anything to go our way a time or two, and kind of, we had some opportunities in our hands that we just didn't finish out. But BYU came in last weekend swinging the bat really well, and they're red hot right now, obviously, and so that was tough on us mentally, especially on our seniors, but. They've done everything I've asked them to do, and that's just leave everything they had on the field, play for each other, and play with a lot of passion. So couldn't be more proud of them.
Hey, Casey, you come in a different position than when you're usually coming into a game. How do you kind of ensure that your approach is the same and you come in with the same sort of energy and approach that you normally do?
Mm-hmm. I've been in a closing role just a handful of times this year, and just kind of coming in really leveled with my emotions, not really getting too high or too low. And obviously in a game like that, we've dug ourselves a pretty deep hole. So just trying to come onto the field as a positive energy for the rest of my team and get the job done, and try to bounce back on the other side of the game.
And Angela, a tough way for you guys to conclude the tournament. Just what was the mood like after the game, and how were you all handling the result?
I think after the game we were focused on that there's still a little hope for us going postseason, and we are just more positive in the fact that we didn't give up, and it's not like we laid down when we got in that hole that she's talking about. We kept going and kept fighting and being aggressive.
You all get to play here during the conference tournament at this stadium, which is the mecca of the sport. What's it like as a players for both of you to play on this field?
Growing up in Oklahoma, I had a couple games on this field in high school, and the atmosphere is awesome. It's electric, and I feel like when you're playing on this field, you feed from the energy from the crowd, and of course Oklahoma has a big crowd following, and you can feel that too. It's awesome.
Yeah, the atmosphere in this place is unlike any other, and we talk about it with the freshmen the first time that they're here, that it's just so cool that we get the opportunity to play here. And play OU on this field. They've owned it a few times, but we get the chance to compete with them and give them our best and leave it out on the field, and that's what we did today.
Coach, just following up on what I asked Angela earlier, what was kind of your message to the team as a whole after the game?
Today,
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it is out of our control right now. I think that we have a pretty solid resume. I think we've done a really good body of work heading in, but the Big 12 is tough, and I hope that the committee will truly look at the Big 12 and look at, our last few opponents that we've had. I mean, when you're playing the top 3 teams in the country, your last few weekends, that's challenging. But I hope that the committee will really give us some recognition on what we've done prior to that, and heading into that last bit of those last few weeks. The SEC finds a way to get all their teams in every year, and I don't think the Big 12 is any less has a less of a schedule than they've had. So I'm still hanging on just a little bit of hope. A lot of it is out of our hands, and a lot depends on what happens in some of these conference tournaments with some of the other at-large bids. But we're in a really good place. We've not been here before. We've not even had a chance to have some hope on this final day. So much rather leave here with a little bit more of a positive vibe than a negative one, and know that, hey, we just gotta hope and pray that something will fall our way, and if that happens on Sunday, we'll be ready to go. We'll be fresh and ready to go. And if it doesn't, we'll have some closure to our season, But we're not out of it. I do not believe that. I think we're truly a team that's on the bubble, and we just gotta sit and wait and see what happens.
Coach, you and I talked before the year, how about the strength of this league, and you thought it could be the deepest ever. Clearly lived up to that. Now that you've gone through it, describe the year this year in the Big 12.
In the Big 12 specifically, I mean, there wasn't an easy weekend, but I will tell you, Kansas softball stepped up early on. I mean, we won a series against Baylor, which is obviously a team too that's in the same boat as us, who's had returned all of their seniors. So they were having a great year. We started the conference off sweeping Baylor. We went to UCF, had an okay weekend, but hadn't faced them before. And then we get, the sweeps against Iowa State, and at Houston. And, I thought we beat the teams that we needed to beat to put ourselves in a really good situation as we were going to finish out. We just hit a little bit of a roadblock there at the end. But again, we were competitive, and Kansas softball hasn't always been competitive, but I felt like we were really competitive as we finished out. So, I still feel like this team is way better than we've ever been, and with the 8 seniors that we've had this year, they've just given us everything they've had and left it on the field.
For each of the players, so obviously you guys have had a really good season, regardless of the outcome. What are you most proud of this year?
I'm most proud of the chemistry on our team and the loyalty that we have to her in this program. I mean, with the transfer portal being the way that it is, it says a lot about our team that we wake up every day and actively choose to represent this university and play for each other. That's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this senior class and the way that we've taken this program in a different direction than it's been headed in. And I mean, towards the end of this year, like we're talking about, we didn't get quite the results that we wanted, but I mean, Kansas softball was in the top 25, we were in the top 20, and our name hasn't been there before. And we put Kansas softball on the map, and I hope we get the chance to continue doing so. So really, we just want a chance right now, because I think we have the potential to play our very best softball in these next coming weeks, but we're just gonna hope and pray this weekend that we get the chance to do so.